when you get $200,000 wired into your account or deposited in a big, cashier's check, what does that do to your brain? Were you like, oh yeah, I expected this, or were you freaked out, or like the financial thermostat on that is crazy? Did you feel like it was a scam? Did you feel like it wasn't real? How did you feel? So when did you guys get into the business?
Yeah. Well, so Ludic got into it first.
Yeah, I got into it first. So I got into it back in 2020. And basically, I mean, the thing is, like, I've been in this business, it feels like, for my entire life. I was wholesaling candy when I was 7 years old. So like, back when I was 7, I was flipping candy, making it convenient for, like other kids in my elementary school to buy candy from me. So I was making a couple bucks a day. And then that got me into wholesaling cars. So I was selling cars at 15 years old and, just like making a couple $1,000s a car. And I'm like, wow, how can I level this up? How can I make 10X what I'm doing now? And after learning from Grant Cardone's 10X book, I'm like, oh shoot, there's such a thing as wholesaling real estate. So I'm like, this is such an easy transition for me to get into from like, flipping all these things in my life. Why can't I just flip contracts? And so I got into wholesaling 2020, and my first deal was a land deal, and we sold that and made close to $200,000 on my first deal. I was like mind blown by the amount of money you can make in wholesaling. Just a single contract, not taking ownership of it, but just literally flipping the contract and making a significant amount of money.
Mm-hmm. So why were you wholesaling candy and then cars and then real estate? Like, do you have parents, or did you just grow up on the streets? Like,
yeah. I mean, so originally, like, I got into this because like we grew up in a really poor family, like. So I didn't really know like wealth, right? Like I had a lot of rich friends, but I'm like, I had to hustle. And so like I learned that hustle culture from my mom, and she like instilled that into myself and my 2 other brothers. And so seeing my mom hustle and grind, ever since I was like 7 years old, I'm like, okay, I could do this too. Like, how can I provide a service, a convenience for other people where they can pay me for? And so I just happened to just like learn those skills from my mom originally.
Is it difficult now that you go from, okay, I'm flipping candy and making $2 a day to flipping cars, making a couple grand? When you get $200,000 wired into your account or deposited in a big, cashier's check, what does that do to your brain? Were you like, oh yeah, I expected this, or were you freaked out, or like? The financial thermostat on that is crazy. Did you feel like it was a scam? Did you feel like it wasn't real? How did you feel?
I mean, yeah, that's a great question. I think definitely the first one, I'm like, this has got to be illegal. Like how is that? I mean, and I just started working like in corporate. So I was grinding, 10 plus hour days and working on weekends as well. And I was barely breaking 6 figures. And so just seeing how much money can get deposited into your account in such a short amount of time, I'm like, this isn't legal. And then I started looking up laws, like, is wholesaling legal? And I never really understood, like, there's a little bit gray area, and I guess depending on the market you work in, but it is legal. It's something that is done every single day by tens of thousands of people. And so I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe more people don't do this.
Here's what's really interesting, and I think that this is why a lot of people don't understand. Like, is it in the gray area, or is it totally above board? Disclosure is everything. This is what I've learned from talking to a lot of attorneys. This is what I've learned from getting a real estate license since 2004. Disclosure is everything. If everybody understands what's happening in the transaction, everybody's adults. Everybody can make decisions. Everything is there, handled by a title company or closing attorney. It is perfect. It is just like buying or selling any other house if you're using an agent or whatever else. If the disclosure's there, if the paperwork's there, then it is all good. It's when you try to be sneaky. It's when you try to, when you go in and you lie and you tell the seller one thing, but you're going to do another thing. That's when there's problems. That's when it gets not even in the gray area. That's when it's just wrong. So that's why we always talk about being a truth teller, truth seeker. And when you go, you can do so many amazing deals like you did for $200,000 profit on your first deal. You will meet people in life. You will meet people in this business, property owners that'll just say, hey, listen, I know that you're going to make a fortune on this. And I'm comfortable with that. I like working with you. I want you to do well. Here, if you give me this price, I don't care if you make $1 million, go bananas. It happens. It happens every single minute of every single hour of every single day. That conversation is happening around the country. You just have to talk to enough people and really go there with a servant's heart, explain the process, explain your price, explain what you're offering, and people will do business with you. It's when you try to be sneaky that you don't last in this business, and it happens all the time, unfortunately. And because of that, I think that's why there's this gray area, this gray cloud that surrounds wholesaling. And we hope that through the podcast, through conversations with incredible professionals like you two, that people realize, wait, this is really incredible people going out there and doing deals.
100%.
And that's it. What about you, Nicole? What do you think about this business?
I mean, honestly, I think what you just said too has been a big part of what we're really working toward as a business, and it's become one of our core values and something we're really intentional about, especially since I started working with Ludomir in the last year and a half in wholesale together. But being very transparent and honest with these clients that we're working them and treating them the way we would want to be treated and treating them the way they deserve to be treated. So we've seen a lot of people in the Seattle market where we operate, where it's very competitive, and they will use very aggressive and just shady tactics. They'll do anything to lock up a deal, and they don't care who they're hurting in the process. You just dealt with someone on a JV deal where stuff like that's going around too. And so it's very common, and that's what we're really focused on, making sure that we are acting with integrity, because we like to be able to sleep at night knowing that we're not screwing anyone over. We want to genuinely help people with this business model. So
yeah, I love it. And you guys are in Tacoma, Washington, which is like the little brother to Seattle, right? It's very competitive. A lot of people love living there. Great properties. There's areas that are more kind of average median home sale price in the 3s, 4s, and then it goes into the millions, right? Yeah. And so, how is that market? What have you learned about that market so far, Nicole?
Yeah, I mean, with the Tacoma market, it's kind of funny because we have so many people who I think are leaving the Seattle market and kind of that east side area right next to Seattle. I'm like using my hands to make a map here, but basically that's pretty much the tech bubble, Seattle and the east side. And so those home prices are just astronomical, right? Because you have a lot of people making $500,000 and just easy money for them. And so we have a lot of people who come down to Tacoma thinking, oh, it's a great entryway to get started, way lower home prices. And there's definitely pockets in Tacoma where you can still buy a house. Gosh, we just bought one earlier this year for
low hundreds,
$125,000.
$125,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
Yeah, and so that's very much possible, but then there's other pockets too in Tacoma where now there's so much more competition because everyone's flooded down from Seattle thinking, oh, okay, I can buy these houses. So now you see a lot more going for $500,000-$600,000 like pretty easily. So lots of different pockets. It really depends where you want to target, and then that's kind of where you focus your campaign and your marketing strategies.
But you can't get deals there, right? Because it's like they're so sophisticated. These are people that are highly paid professionals. I mean, there's probably not much opportunity in those type of markets, right? That's at least what I hear on comments on YouTube or Instagram or something. So they go, you know what? I'll just go virtual wholesaling. I'll go to these, the Memphises and the Indianapolises and the Detroits and those markets because Tacoma's just too high priced. They're too savvy.
Yeah, it's.
No, I mean that's definitely what people say, and I love that because that just creates more opportunity for us. But there's so much I mean, in any market, and there's so much opportunity. That's the best place to start is in your own market. And the thing I learned from you, Brent, like you teach that so well, and I couldn't agree more with that because there's just like if you're saying immediately, I believe that like what you say is like. How do I say this word? It's like what we think about becomes. And so what we think about, if we're saying that our market is saturated, then yeah, it's going to be completely saturated. But if we're looking for opportunities, then opportunities are so abundant in our marketplace. And so that's what we do. We're going out there, we're looking for opportunities with other partners. We're having conversations, like there's so many ways to find these deals. And so, yeah, we find these all the time, these properties in the low $100,000 range. And, you can easily sell those we're averaging those assignment fees are over 50,000, right? Like we're selling them close to $200,000. So it's like the opportunities are exactly in your own market. It's just a matter of, are you willing to accept that and go out and pursue something long enough? Or are you just going to jump around from marketing strategy to marketing strategy? And that's where a lot of people fail in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the whole Acres of Diamonds story that's really classic. It's a great little thin book. It was a speech done years and years and years ago to raise money for Temple University, and it's about a farmer in Africa that wanted to find a diamond mine and went around everywhere and sold off his everything to go try to find a diamond mine. He sold off his land, and then the guy that he sold the land to was walking around in the creek, and he kicked a rock that he thought was interesting, and he grabbed it and he put it on his mantle of his house. And then a diamond, somebody that recognizes raw diamonds or diamonds in their raw form, came to his house and looked at what was on his mantle, and it was like one of the biggest diamonds that had ever been found. And this guy's farm that he was searching his whole life in other areas for these diamond mines. His whole farm was one of the biggest diamond mines in Africa, right? And I feel like that is the way it is in real estate. Like if you know how to recognize potential in your backyard, you're going to win. And if you're in those high price, if you're in a median sale price of above 300, I would say 300 to 350,000, and you're not going on in-person appointments, you're going to get beat out a lot. If you're trying to just do virtual wholesaling and you're under, 350, it's really difficult to just do this business virtually. With that being said, are you guys going on appointments and not contradicting my point here?
Share about that. Share about some of your experiences, Nicole, right?
Yeah.
Like where you were the only person that came out. And that's why they worked with us.
Absolutely. So I've been, at least with my role in our business, I've been leading more of the acquisitions. And so I will be that person going out to appointments. I'm the one talking to sellers on the phones. But we have found that with some of these appointments I've gone on, like to houses in Seattle, Everett is another city. It's kind of more like a suburb of Seattle, a little bit north, but still very competitive. I've gone out to 2 appointments. I was the only one that went out to these. And these are like popular competitive cities, right?
Yep.
So just, to your point, Brent, like, I mean, people can say there's a lot of competition, but when you're going out and actually doing it and finding out the truth for yourself, like it can be a very different story. And so I closed those deals. Even one of them, I didn't even expect to close the deal either. Her price was way off, but it was actually right after your mastermind. I think we went down in May to do your mastermind, and I remember one of the biggest takeaways that I got from you and Ryan was with qualifying clients, making sure that there's always a really strong when and a strong why. And yeah, they can give you whatever price, but if they have a strong one and a why, you get your butt out there to the appointment. So that's what I did with this client, and we closed at that appointment.
Yeah, and I was so doubtful too. I remember she was like, it was like at $650,000. I was like, Nicole, like that price is almost retail. Like, how are we going to be able to sell that? He's like, no, this is what I learned from Brent. I'm going to implement it. Let's just see how it works. Because I was like, you're going to drive an hour to literally one appointment tonight? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And she's like, just trust me. Let's just do it. So she went out to that appointment. She closed it at, what was it, like 450,000?
Yeah.
She's like, I really wanted 450,000 for this home. We ended up assigning that and made an $85,000 deal out of nothing. I mean, it was just an incredible deal. I'm like, wow, what you're teaching is working. Like, if you actually take this information, implement it, this could work, and it is working every day. So,
How did you find that deal?
So that one was cold calling. So I wasn't doing the cold calling myself. We had a team we were working with at the time, and then I was doing warm calls. So 2 weeks right after your mastermind. So not too bad.
That's awesome. That was the PPC mastermind?
That one was the general one.
Action workshop?
Yeah.
So value.
We love that one. That's great.
We'll have to come back.
Yeah, we do that, 3 times a year. We love that. That's a phenomenal event to have everybody come into like our home, our office here, meet everybody and connect, and then just be able to sharpen the skills, right? Just get a little bit better, and just maybe get to the point where you go on that extra appointment that maybe you wouldn't have. Maybe you would have done that over the phone, but it pushed you to do it. It turns into 85 grand. I mean, absolutely incredible. It's incredible. First of all, let me ring this bell for that. That's awesome.
Yes, we got the bell. That's awesome.
That is great. So Nicole, when it comes to people making offers and they're virtual, are you seeing that they're giving the owners significantly more? They're offering significantly more to the offers virtually than you would in person? Because that's what we see in Phoenix a lot, is they set this ridiculous price, and we've had to go out there and educate them and be like, have they seen the house? Have you met them? Like, what is their Google reviews? How many testimonials? Like, do they actually live here? Or is it just somebody giving you a random offer and they're going to tie you up and try to find another investor that's going to buy it from them? And so we go through that dialogue a lot here in Phoenix with anything. It was more a couple years ago. Nobody really does it virtually here anymore. But we had to have that conversation a lot. Are you finding yourself having that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, we get, whether it's virtual or even other local people who, again, kind of back to that unethical practices of just, they give these crazy high offers that they know they can't actually close at.
Yeah.
And we bring that up all the time with homeowners of like, look, the offer we're giving you, like, this is the number we can actually close on. And I know there's a lot of people going around saying like, okay, there's these wholesalers, they're always going to lowball you. And I like to make that clear with any homeowners I'm working with is we're not lowballing you. I'm giving you the actual numbers that I can confidently close at. If we can sell the property as well, like, great. But also every number I give out to a homeowner is a number that if we were to end up taking that property and flipping it ourselves, like, that's the number I feel comfortable doing it. And so I think that honesty and transparency builds a lot of trust with homeowners, and then just setting that expectation of like, this is how we operate. Just be very careful of these other people who you're having conversations with, and the practices they're doing, the numbers they're giving you, the contracts they're having you sign, being aware of like the sneaky clouding titles and
6
memorandums.
months,
It happens all the time.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a lot of education is really the big thing, and that's the fun part for me too. I love doing that. So
Yeah. So Ludomir, it sounds like Nicole does all the work. Are you just swimming in a lake, or what do you do? What do you do in this business?
He plays pickleball a lot.
Honestly, I transitioned a little bit out of this business, but that's literally the important thing in life, right? Like, I learned from you as well. It's like, can we make this into something where it's just like a part of my lifestyle, or can it be a lifestyle business? Because at the beginning of our business, right, we were grinding. I mean, I remember for the first 2 years, we were working 10-hour days. We were making $2.5–3 million a year. We were doing, 50 to 100 contracts a year minimum. And now, honestly, like seeing Nicole, like seeing, I taught her some of these skills and seeing her acquire these properties within a few months by herself. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. I'm like, yeah, how can I like really enjoy my life now and not necessarily grind? And that's kind of what I wanted to share as well. It's like, you don't always have to be grinding. You can also have like a lifestyle business where you close X amount of deals a year, right? Even make $500,000 a year, deposit that into cash flowing assets and live a very like comfortable, happy lifestyle. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Yep. That's how you win the game. I mean,
I'm winning. We're winning.
Having the freedom to control the time that you have left on this planet, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's really what it is. Without that, really heavy weight of finances, strapped around your shoulders. But you have to go through hustle season.
100%.
You have to go to bed exhausted. You have to go to bed frustrated. You have to go to bed, hungry. You know what I mean? For a long time, people think it's like, oh, I'll do it for a month or two or 90 days or a year or two. It's 7 years. It's
Absolutely.
7 years of go, go, go. It's a few years, and that's to like really get it to the point where you're completely out of it. That's the average that I see. I mean, you got into this in 2020, and so you're 5 years in. I mean, you're right there.
Absolutely.
You're right there. Yeah.
So I think now it's just like continuing to build our cash flow. Like I think for us, I mean, it's so important to constantly every single week. Like one of the biggest things I do is like really spend time on our finances. So really understanding what are we spending, how much are we investing, how much are we like all of our finances. And so like having full control over that. And then just like building up our cash flow. And now that we are financially free, right? Because we deposited 90% of the money that we were making from wholesaling into cash flowing assets. Now I see, okay, we needed X amount every month to pay for all of our expenses. How do we want to live our lives now? And like, it's possible for every single viewer, listener, right? To do this and to do this within a 5-year time frame. It's just like, how committed are you, right? Building a solid foundation for your business and like not just listening to what you have to say, right? I think the biggest thing is implementing what you actually share on this podcast, because we listen to like almost all of your episodes and we actually do the work, right?
Yeah. It's incredible. I had a conversation with Tom Kroll, and he was talking to me about in his office, in his home office, he has a big whiteboard, and he has he pays off all of his real estate, pays it all off, right? And so they have the total amount of debt, and then they have their expenses, and then they have the excess that goes to prepaying off the mortgage every single month, and it could be, and they start with one at a time, and they pay it off, and then pay it off, and then pay it off, and pay it off. And I understand that that's a very conservative, very Ramsey-ish approach to it, but I don't know a guy that's happier than Tom.
Right.
You know what I mean? And his family and his kids. He's got 5 kids. He's the mayor of his his neighborhood. You can't. He's on his phone. I'm talking to him, and he's saying hi to 15 people while he's walking through. So there's something to be said about getting to the point where you have all of these assets completely paid off. I think that's what the really wealthy do. I really do. I think that they get to the point where the cash flow is bananas because there's no debt.
Right.
If you're paying debt to somebody else, they make all the money. The bank makes all the money. The bank is the top of the pyramid. So it's like, go make a bunch of money in real estate, stay within your lane financially from a expenses standpoint and monthly cost standpoint, and put all the excess into assets that'll increase in value over time. What's better than real estate?
Absolutely.
I mean, the stock market, you could argue, the economy, you can argue, lending money.
Right.
That's the world that I love. But holy cow, real estate is such a great asset for like long-term wealth building. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's even, I know for a lot of listeners, that's probably even kind of a daunting thought of like, okay, maybe it's just even getting into your first asset and like, oh, how am I going to pay that off? That could be like several $100,000. And I think one thing to keep in mind is sometimes it's just like, excuse me, starting small with what are the things you can start paying off, maybe other debts in your life. So for us, we're really big about not having credit card debt.
Yeah.
And we really focus on living within our means. I know Ludic loves to spend money, and I'm the frugal one, which is kind of funny. I don't think people always expect that. But we're really big about no car loans, and just making sure that we can keep our monthly cost of living pretty low, and that we can keep our monthly income a lot higher.
That's
So,
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
a lot
That's
to
it.
keep in mind.
Yeah, it's the old saying is it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep,
Right.
and it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And there's some tax strategies in there that you can implement with real estate, which are awesome as well. So Nicole, you're telling me you're the good one with money, and you close all the deals. So I see what's going on here. Okay, I see what's going on here. It's a good thing you're like 6'5", bro. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Ludomir, no.
He's got his uses. No, he deserves so much credit too, because he's the one who, when we'll go travel, and we do love to travel. That's probably our biggest joint spending thing that we
Sure.
like to do. And we have no kids, so we're like, now's the time. But he loves to work while we travel. I'm like, okay, I'm unplugging. Don't bother me for like the duration of this trip. But
Yep.
he will be closing deals as we're traveling. And so there have been times with our cold calling campaign and with our PPC, that's our other main marketing strategy that we're really big on. And those can be really slow sometimes. And so then it's great because Ludic will be really focused on the JV partnerships and bringing that kind of income into our business. And that's been huge. Honestly, that's saved us a lot
of money
during this season.
So we went to Europe like just recently, like a month ago. We were just traveling around Europe. We're big Harry Potter fans, so we got to go to like London, England, and all over the UK. And when we were there, I was just like, I like this. Like, it's so much fun to do this and not necessarily have to, like, if you're getting started, you don't even need your own marketing dollars. Like, there's already people in this space wholesaling every day across the country, even in your market, in your state. And you just got to build that relationship with them, right? Like, whether it's taking them out for coffee, for lunch, like just establishing your presence with them and helping them to sell their deals. And that's what we've been able to do very, very well. And so when we were abroad, we probably brought in about $70,000, $80,000 on 3 different small deals. These are smaller deals, just helping other wholesalers sell their deals. And how awesome. Like we could have stayed in Europe another 6 months, right? If we wanted to, because it would have been paid for by these JV partnerships that we built over the last couple of years.
That's awesome. So we're running your PPC for you. How's that going?
So with that one, it's a funny story because we originally wanted to work with you on PPC, but this is back when we had just started out working together. And at the time we had not made any deals together. And so we didn't qualify to work with you on your PPC channel. So we actually got referred over to like a discount PPC manager. And
Okay.
I promise this all ties into a very useful story for listeners. But we actually learned the hard way that working with this other person, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And we have brought in deals through PPC. And so we are very grateful for that. It's been like 6 months. Mm-hmm. We've brought in 3 deals. And that's pretty solid. But we have also found in the recent months, our campaign has taken a dive. And we've had to do the very humbling task of like, okay, you can't just set it and forget it with your PPC campaign. We really trusted these guys to handle it, and they weren't really sure why this dive happened. So now we're actually going in ourselves and really figuring out how to remanage the campaign.
Mm-hmm. Losing tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, losing tens of thousands of dollars in the process. And I think even like we talked to you a little bit about this, your mastermind of like you went through a similar thing when you went with other PPC providers before you did the smart thing and made your own PPC agency. And we're learning that lesson the hard way. We should have just listened to you, gone with you.
We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you? So the majority of the deals is from cold calling still?
So again, we're like figuring out, we're slowly implementing all the advice that we've gleaned from you since we started working from you. But cold calling was our main marketing channel along with JV referrals. And then just a few months ago, after we realized we really need to listen to Brent of just like diving into one channel and doing it well, and we're kind of having PPC in the background. Like, okay, we're just going to cut the cold calling and go full hog into this PPC. So that's just what I'm spending like all my time doing now. It feels like a big gamble, but we also know it has made us money in the last 6 months. And so
Yep.
Also, those 3 PPC deals were like close to 200,000 in revenue. So it's like,
Nice.
we're talking huge amounts of money from a couple of deals, but yeah. So we don't do like, before we were the volume approach, we were doing hundreds of deals. Now we're doing a small amount of deals, but just bigger assignment fees.
What is your average assignment fee?
It's over 50 grand. Yeah, for sure. Like I would say probably close to 60, just because of like how much time I spend packaging these up and just the amount of work I put into these. We sell the vision. We don't just sell, the product like most wholesalers do. Like there's multiple extra strategies that we put together. We have like a professional in-house that basically looks at all options for it. Can it be a development? Can it be a flip? Can it be a rental? So we package these up, and that's how we capitalize on a lot of these deals. While most wholesalers would just take the $5,000-$10,000, we turn that into $50,000, $100,000 easily.
That's so in this package. How is it? So you're not just sending an address and a link to a Dropbox with pictures.
Like honestly, a lot of wholesalers do that, right? Like I see that all the time, and that's where like, how many investors just skip those? I mean, I skip those. I would never review that. If I'm just getting an address and a lockbox, like I'm not going to go to the property. It's a waste of time. And so when I package this up, I literally hand the buyers, that's my value. I bring it to them like a silver platter. Literally all of the information, the county records, the property information, how old it is, like everything, all the details, all the photos. We sometimes even a lot of times we're doing inspection reports. We're literally doing everything you can do. So that way you know exactly what you're buying day one, and you don't even have to walk the property. A lot of these we sell sight unseen.
I love it. I think it's really smart to do an inspection. Get a full-blown inspection done and just have that and send that to all your buyers so that they can make a really smart decision. One, because it's going to list all of the items that they didn't know about. And two, they take a lot of pictures. They take pictures of everything going on. Everything that has a problem, they have a picture to it, which is just absolutely incredible. So now you have instead of sending 40 pictures or 20 pictures or whatever to your cash buyers, you send them your own pictures, you send them the inspection, you send them a breakdown of different exit strategies, and that's what gets them sold and sold for a lot more. How do you find your buyers? That is, I think, a big challenge for a lot of people that are just getting started now or just starting to, maybe get back into the business, took some time off, and they're like, you know what, that wholesaling thing was awesome. How do you find buyers in this boring market right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many ways to find buyers, but there's just a lot of, unfortunately, wannabe buyers, like people that are not that serious, that have never done a deal. And so you kind of have to get through the weeds of that. I mean, right now, like it's as simple as Facebook, to be honest. I use Facebook every day. I have a virtual assistant now that has her own account that works for us, and she's full-time searching for buyers. But how we do it is literally just go Facebook. I guarantee there's a real estate community in your market. For us, it's Washington Real Estate Investing. We go to that, we see all the properties that other wholesalers are listing, and underneath those, they have their emails. Hey, I'm serious. I want to buy this property. Maybe there's 30, 40 people, and I go and individually contact each one of those people, and I figure out who's serious, who's actually buying, and how many properties have they bought. Is it their first investment? Is this their 10th one? And then through that, you have to, again, it takes a lot of time, but then you get to the root and you can see exactly who's the actual players in your market. And we found those people, and it's taken a couple years, but it's possible for anyone to do if they're really serious. Just go to your local Facebook community.
Yeah, I love it. A little cheat code for that is if you search within the community and you just put @Gmail, it'll pull up all the emails that are Gmails. If you go @Yahoo, if you go Those are pretty much the only 2 emails I know. But
I didn't know that. I didn't know this.
those are the big ones. Yeah, you could just put it in the search, and then it just goes brrr, and you could just scrape it right there, so you don't have to go to each individual post and look for the comments there. So a little cheat code here. I've been around the block.
That piece of value.
That's why you're the best, Brent.
Yeah. You just saved us hundreds of hours for sure.
That's it. That's it. So,
awesome.
what does your team look like? Is it just you 2, or do you have more people?
Yeah, it's funny because our goal, I think, before we started with your mastermind and your coaching group was, okay, we're really going to scale this business. We're going to make it huge so we can go take trips to Europe all the time and the team will be working for us. So we started hiring sales reps at the time. I can't remember if we had a VA, but I think we had a couple doing cold calls for us.
Probably a 10%
and then,
team.
10-person
We had
team.
probably had a 10-person team before we started with you.
And then we
Remember?
Yeah, we went to your mastermind and you're like, you should actually really consider having a lean team of just the 2 of you. And I was like, oh, okay, let me just reverse all of this hiring here. So now it is just us 2 pretty much. We still have 1 sales rep who kind of works with us, also kind of runs his own business. So it's like a hybrid, but he's just a great guy and he's very motivated as well. So he found an awesome option that works for him and we still get to support him. But mainly it's just you and I, and then our 1 VA.
Yeah, and then I would say too, for me, like all the JV partners, I consider them partners in a way. So like when you add all those up, we have at least 10 of those. So like they just bring us deals constantly. And but for our team, it's really just us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one person, 3 people.
How did you establish those JV partnerships?
The first one, it was just like a event. I went to a local real estate meetup and I love to share with my story with people. I'm a wholesaler. I'm looking for partners. A lot of agents actually have a lot of off-market deals. So a lot of these agents come to these meetups, local meetups in our market in Seattle. I'm sure that across the state, there's a lot of these meetups. But yeah, a lot of agents don't really understand how to do off-market transactions, and they do have these buyers that need to sell or sellers that need to sell fast. And so I just share them my story. Hey, I'm a wholesaler. I'm looking for people that are looking to sell quick and for cash, and if you have any deals. And so I was able to start building relationships with people like that. The first person, Dean, he's a great guy. We've done maybe 10 deals this year so far for over $250,000 in revenue just for us, right? So just one partnership has really helped our business generate significant amounts of revenue. And so that's what we do. We maintain those relationships, but we do a lot of meetups. That's where we connect with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would tell the whole audience, if you want to make $400,000 minimum a year, get 30 real estate agents to refer you 1 deal a year. 1 deal a year, right? 30 of them to just bring you 1 deal. You do that, you're set for life. 30 relationships. You guys have 10, and you're making how much from them this year?
I mean, $500,000, yeah, usually.
$500,000 on 10. Imagine 30.
That's
over $1 million in your markets, right? I'm
Right.
telling you, you find 30 agents that I've been screaming from the rooftops for a long time. Find the 30. I even told people, get like a Excel sheet. Go into Excel today, make it a 30 by 30 blocks, like
Right.
whatever, 5 by 6, and put 1 through 30 in there, and just fill in the names of the people that you can go out there and build a great relationship with, and you are set for life.
100%.
Set for life. That's it. People are like, oh, I've got to go get a law degree, and I've got to go to med school, and I've got to go and start a really successful business, and I got to do all these things. If you just get 30 people that know, like, and trust you to send you 1 deal a year,
Yes.
you will change your life forever. You guys are doing it with 10.
100%.
Because you average $50K a deal.
Right.
Which is bananas.
Yes. And I would say, too, on top of that, Brent, like you said, I think don't give up on them. Like, don't give up on yourself, because it's one and done for a lot of people. They reach out to them one time. Hey, you said you might have off market deals. Like, can I help you? And then that's the end of the conversation. Like, be consistently showing up for these 10 people or 30 people. Like, reach out to them a few times a month, even just once a month, right? But it's like, you can't be a one and done person. If you're going to succeed in this game, I mean, you're going to have to show up consistently every single day.
I gotta say too, just to highlight Ludic here, because as much as we poke fun at him for playing pickleball half the day and going on your spending sprees, you are just one of the most determined people I've met, and I think that's been really the true driver of not just our success, but yeah, especially the success you bring to our business. Is you are not a one and done person. Whether it's building relationships with people, he's going to be very consistent with his follow-ups there. Whether it's trying to dispo a deal and you get rejected by 50 people all telling you, oh, it's a bad deal, oh, it's overpriced, like, you will find that person.
100%.
It doesn't matter if it takes you 50 hours for one deal, like, you always find a buyer.
100%.
It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it, Brent.
You mean he talks to people?
Does like to talk to people.
It's very easy.
It's a superpower. I'm just telling you, you talk to enough people and you're fast and effective with communication. And you actually care about people, and you stay in front of them and you thank them for business. You win. You win every time. It's undefeated.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You talk to enough people, you will do deals. It's undefeated. Absolutely. And you guys are the perfect example of it. That is awesome. Well, give some advice for people starting out in this. Give some people, some instruction. Not just go work hard. Go really be determined. Give us some action items that they should go out to do to get their first deal.
Oh, I love it. I would say, honestly, for me, what comes to mind is first just being very real with yourself about how much work you're really willing to put into this to succead. What are you willing to sacrifice? How much money are you willing to put into this marketing endeavor? And just just really being honest with yourself. Do you want to build a $1 billion wholesale enterprise, or are you just looking really to make $100,000 a year? Because that's really going to differentiate the path you take.
Sure.
And so just starting out with that and figuring out, okay, so maybe I don't really have that much time to put toward wholesaling right now. I have a 9-to-5 job. I have maybe $50 to put towards marketing. And so that's really going to dictate, okay, maybe you're going to do driving for dollars or door knocking or the cheapest possible marketing options. And that's going to be what you do for X amount of time, however much time you want to set aside to dedicate to getting your first deal. Just knowing it's going to be tough, but you have a great community with the TTP community, the Rhino tribe. So lots of great support there.
Yeah, that's really, really well said. I think too, Brent, I got my biggest return on investment. I remember at the beginning of my business with my old business partner, and we were throwing thousands and thousands of dollars into marketing channels. We literally burned through all of our money. And I remember I had no more money in the bank account, and I'm giving up. I just remember telling Nicole, this is it. But right before giving up, I'm someone in our space was doing this successfully, and they were making literally several $1 million a year. And I remember his name, Cole Johnson. I'm I got to go to this man. I got to meet this man. And so I met with him. And for me, that was the greatest ROI ever. I mean, it was 100x my money every year, right? We were making millions of dollars from his advice. And so for me, I think it's just easier to learn from people that are already successful. Why, just go to someone like yourself, right? Learn exactly the ropes of what I need to do step by step, and then implement those things. Don't learn on your own, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard, challenging. You're going to waste a lot of money, and most people do that. And so, I just saw in your community, right, today, I was going through your community, and I saw these JV posts and people saying, oh, I want a JV, I want to, I have this deal I need to sell. And so I start calling some of those people, and they're like, yeah, I'm ready to work with you and we can split the deal. And I'm like, wow, that's so easy to make money. So I'm going to show you that example once I close some of these deals. But I would just find a community, because you're not going to do it alone. So number one, find a community of people that wholesale, whether it's one person or multiple people. Start learning from them. Don't do this on your own, and they will help you. Like, we're open to helping anybody, right? Like, your community is open to helping everybody. We're in this together. And then implement exactly what you learn. And for me, I like the JV model because it's free. You literally build the relationships, like you said, and you don't spend any money but your time. And for a lot of us, right, a lot of us live paycheck to paycheck. So if you're in that situation, go learn from another wholesaler and then help them create some kind of value, bring some buyers to them, and then, you know, they're going to pay you a couple grand for your work.
Awesome. That is absolutely incredible. I'm going to put your guys' Instagram in the show notes so that people can reach out. And I encourage everybody to reach out and just tell them, hey, great interview. Or if you do want to JV with these guys, then make sure that you reach out. Nicole, Amdal, and Ludomir, Wanot. You guys are incredible. Thank you for being on here. And yeah. People are going to be reaching out. That's awesome.
Thank you for having us. We'll see you soon again in person.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you for all your value, Brent. Really appreciate it.
You got it. What a great conversation with Nicole and Ludomir. And listen, guys, for the first time ever, we are bringing you at Wholesaling Inc., we are bringing you all of our training, all of the access to the community, all the access to 2 to 3 support calls every single day, Monday through Friday. And here it is, for the first time ever, inbound leads. Inbound leads, hot seller leads that are looking for someone to buy their ugly house. It's absolutely incredible. It's all rolled into one package. It is bananas. So go to talktopeople.com. Go put your information in there. Talk to our team. They're not these weird, salesy bros. They're absolute incredible marketing machines. They know exactly how to put you in the right position to win. Doesn't matter your market. Go to talktopeople.com, and I look forward to working with you and seeing you on our private support calls and in our private community. And that's it. My name is Brent Daniels, Mr. Talk to People. I love you. I'll see you next time.